Hi everyone. This time we are going to talk about a girl who gets herself caught in her own spiral of lies. She was later charged with first-degree murder, along with 4 accomplices, for orchestrating the murder of her mother and the attempted murder of her father in an effort to inherit their wealth. The trial gained widespread media attention due to the shocking nature of the crime. The case happened in Unionville, a suburban district and former village in Markham, Canada, west of Markham Village, and northeast of downtown Toronto. It has a population of about 9,000. In the night of November 8, 2010, the Unionville 911 operator received an emergency call from a girl.
Where are you, ma'am?
Please just go
Ma'am, calm down. What?
Some people broke into our house and
Okay.
just showed all his money.
Okay, ma'am,
Yelling downstairs. Please send help.
ma'am, where are you? What?
Avenue.
Avenue Road.
Yes.
Can you spell the street name for me, please?
Dad? No. You're calling us.
Ma'am. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road, can you please spell?
In Helen Avenue. My dad just went outside screaming.
Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please?
H-E-L-E-N. Someone broke in and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs.
Police officers were immediately dispatched to the location, but unfortunately, her mother was found dead and her father in critical condition. The girl who called 911 was Jennifer Pan, 24 years old. She was found upstairs, unharmed, with both hands tied behind her back, while her mother, Bik Ha, was shot 3 times in the head and died instantly in the basement. Her father, Hui Han Pan, was discovered at the front door, shot in the shoulders and the face, and was immediately sent to the nearby hospital. Later, Jennifer was being interviewed to help the police with the case.
In which then they dragged me down the stairs and made me kneel at the bottom, telling me to face down on the floor while the other guy had a gun behind my head, and asked my mom where her purse was. My mom kept trying to get up, and they kept telling her to sit down, and so I didn't want her to get hurt, so I told her, "Mom, sit down." They were trying to find her wallet, but her English isn't good, so she kept saying purse. They kept pushing her down onto the chair.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. All this is very important.
According to Jennifer's account, she had been watching television in her room earlier that evening. Her mother and father had already gone to bed, and her brother Felix Pan was at college. Suddenly, she heard her mother scream, and she immediately went downstairs to investigate. Jennifer says she saw 3 gunmen holding her parents at gunpoint in the kitchen and demanding that they tell them where the cash was kept, before dragging her parents into the basement. One of the intruders then saw Jennifer and threatened to shoot her if she didn't cooperate. He forced her back upstairs and tied her up at the stairs with a shoelace. The intruder left her there and went back downstairs. Then she heard a few gunshots, but she remained quiet. She waited until the intruders left their house and called 911. In the basement, her mother was shot and killed, but her father survived with his gunshot wounds. He managed to escape the basement and make his way to the front door, where he called for help. Following their interview with Jennifer, the police raised more questions. First, the surveillance camera opposite Jennifer's house caught the intruders entering the house from their front door, but when the police checked, there were no signs of break-ins at the front door. So either the door is not locked, or the intruder has the key. Second, their 2 luxurious cars, a Mercedes-Benz and a Lexus, with the car keys inside, were left untouched. This led the police to suspect that their primary motive may not have been theft. Third, these cold-blooded intruders tried to kill her parents without any hesitation. obviously wanting to get rid of the witnesses, but then left Jennifer tied up with only a shoelace and unharmed. And how did Jennifer manage to call 911 with her hands tied up behind her? These inconsistencies in the intruder's behavior, and their motive for leaving Jennifer alive, led the police to suspect that there might be more to the story than what Jennifer has revealed so far. The police are now looking into any potential connections between Jennifer and the intruders that may have led to this violent incident. Jennifer's parents were Vietnamese immigrants to Canada. Both of them found work at Magna International Incorporated, a Canadian parts manufacturer for automakers in Aurora, Ontario. They were married in Toronto, and Jennifer was born in 1986, followed by her brother Felix in 1989. They both worked very hard for many years, in the hopes of providing Jennifer and Felix with the opportunities and upbringing that they had not received. In 2004, Jennifer's parents finally amassed enough wealth to live comfortably in a large, two-garage house in Markham. Her mother drove a Lexus, and her father drove a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Jennifer's parents had extremely high expectations for their two children. Jennifer had been taking piano lessons since she was 4 years old, as well as figure skating classes, where she trained most days of the week. And Jennifer did not disappoint. She brought home a lot of trophies and medals, and she was also top in her class in her studies. Her achievement made her parents very proud. However, as Jennifer grew older, she began to feel overwhelmed and stressed by the pressure to constantly excel. Jennifer was forced to practice her piano and skate from day to night, in addition to her studies, until late at night. She was also barred from participating in any activities that would divert her attention away from her studies. There will be no dating, or attending high school dances, proms, or other types of parties. Jennifer's friend also claims that she has a habit of cutting herself. Jennifer had hopes of competing in the Olympics, until an accident during training tore a ligament in her knee. This has had a major impact on her mental health, causing her to lose focus on her studies. Her grades went from excellent to average. She didn't want to disappoint her parents, so she found a way to fabricate report cards to hide her real grades from them. This is where her spiral of lies begins. After Jennifer failed her calculus class in her senior year of high school, Ryerson University rejected her application. So she lied to her parents, and everyone around her, and pretended to attend university. Instead, she was at the public library every day, creating study notes and fabricating report cards to show her parents. She also worked in restaurants, and lied to her parents about receiving scholarships, and an offer to the University of Toronto's pharmacology program. From time to time, she also lied to her parents about staying overnight at her best friend Topaz's house, when she was actually staying with her boyfriend, Daniel Wong. Jennifer and Daniel have been dating since they were 16, despite her parents' disapproval. Daniel was a student at Mary Ward who later studied at York University. At the time of the murder, he was already 30 years old and a small-time marijuana dealer. While pretending to complete her degree at the University of Toronto, Jennifer told her parents she had started working as a volunteer at Toronto's hospital, and she needed to cover some night shifts. But in reality, she just wanted to spend more time with Daniel. Her parents became suspicious when they discovered she was not issued any hospital ID at work. One day, they followed behind her as she left for work. And they soon discovered that she had gone to meet Daniel instead of going to the hospital. Upon being caught red-handed with Daniel, Jennifer soon confessed everything. Her father was devastated by the news, and couldn't believe that his daughter had been lying to him for so long. He struggled to come to terms with the situation, and had a difficult time trusting Jennifer again. Her phone and laptop were seized by her father, who also forbade her from leaving the house until she had successfully completed high school once more. During this time, Jennifer has no choice but to only contact Daniel secretly when her parents are not around. After some time, Daniel got tired of the secrecy and distance in their relationship and decided to break up with Jennifer. He soon dated another girl named Christine. Jennifer was devastated by the breakup, so she made up another lie about Christine sending men to assault her and threatened to kill her. Her lies once again got her what she wanted, and she won Daniel back. Jennifer's manipulative behavior had escalated to a dangerous level, and she was willing to go to extreme measures to get what she wanted. By spring 2010, Jennifer had decided that killing her parents was her only way out of their grasp. She contacted her high school friend Andrew Montemayor, who had a criminal record, and asked him to find someone to kill her father. Andrew introduced her to Ricardo Duncan, who asked for $1,500 for the job. Jennifer paid him $200 initially, but he later backed down and returned the money. Jennifer initially only planned to kill her father, but Daniel then suggested they hire a professional and kill both her parents, so she can inherit their money to start a new life. He later found a guy named Lenford Roy Crawford, aka Homeboy, who would do the job for $10,000. Homeboy gets another 2 men for the job, Eric Sean Carty and David Milviganum. Daniel gave Jennifer an iPhone with a new SIM card so she could contact Homeboy directly to finalize their plan. On November 8, 2010, after her parents went to bed, Jennifer unlocked the front door and called Homeboy with her iPhone. Shortly after, Homeboy, Daniel and the other 2 entered through the front door and carried out the murder. Jennifer then threw away the SIM card in her iPhone. What she didn't know is that all calls and messages between her and Homeboy had been saved into her iPhone. This evidence was later used in court to convict Jennifer and her accomplices for the murder. On November 12, 2010, Jennifer's father survived the gunshot to his face and came out of the coma. Despite the trauma he had experienced, he was able to provide crucial testimony that helped piece together the events. He told the police that his daughter Jennifer was not restrained during the attack, and he saw her talking to the intruders like they knew each other before he was taken to the basement. This testimony contradicted Jennifer's initial statement to the police, which claimed that she was also a victim of the attack. As a result, Jennifer quickly switched from victim to prime suspect in the investigation. On November 22, 2010, during Jennifer's third interview at the Markham police station, police officer William Bill Getz, who was questioning Jennifer, lied to her about the existence of computer software that detected lies in her statements, and recordings of her house from satellites using infrared technology to track movements in structures. For your information, the police in Canada are allowed to lie about the evidence when questioning suspects. Jennifer eventually confessed and was arrested. Later, Homeboy, Carty, Milviganum, and Daniel were also arrested and charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy to commit murder. Their trial began on March 19, 2014, in Newmarket. All of them pleaded not guilty. During the trial, Jennifer explained that she hired Homeboy to kill herself at home, but she tried to call the whole thing off at the last minute, which angered them to kill her parents. Jennifer's iPhone became crucial evidence against them in the trial. The whole trial, which lasted for 10 months, included over 200 exhibits and over 50 witnesses. On December 13, 2014, Jennifer, Daniel, Homeboy, and Milviganum were found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment with a chance for parole after 25 years. Carty is only sentenced to 18 years imprisonment with a chance for parole after 9 years, after he was only found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. After the trial, Jennifer desperately wanted to speak to her family, but her father and brother filed a court order that forbids Jennifer from contacting them. Jennifer is also forbidden from contacting Daniel. Later, her father wrote an impact statement. "When I lost my wife, I lost my daughter at the same time. I don't feel like I have a family anymore. After the trial, her father and her brother, Felix, moved to the East Coast to start over. Jennifer is currently being held at the Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, Ontario. And Daniel is held at Collins Bay Institution in Kingston. Both of them will be eligible for parole in 2039. It all started with a small lie to please her parents, and escalated into a web of deception that resulted in the death of her mother, a broken family, and her own imprisonment. Jennifer had always felt overshadowed by her parents' expectations, and the lie was her way of breaking free. However, the consequences were far greater than she could have ever imagined. This is the end of my video. If you like my video, please give it a like and subscribe. And feel free to comment and correct me for any mistakes in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.